Good afternoon everyone. Today we will go for the anatomy of a large intestine. Okay. Last class we study about the small intestine. Today we will go for the anatomy of a large intestine. Large intestine is also say as a large bowel. Okay. Is the last part of a gastrointestinal tract and at the digestive system. The large intestine is also say as a large bowel or large gut, is also say as a hind gut. Large intestine mainly made by the hind gut. Okay, and it is a last part of the gastrointestinal tract and the digestive system. The large intestine is mainly contains the cecum, ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon, rectum and anal canal. The water is absorbed here and the remaining waste material is stored as a feces, okay, before being removed from the anus. The most part of the water is absorbed in the large intestine. Okay, the most of the all purgatives, laxatives, all are work on the this in the large intestine only. Okay, we can go for the next slide. First of all, we know the large intestine is also known as a large bowel or hind gut. Okay, is the last part of the gastrointestinal tract. Okay, and it is the last part of the digestive system. Water is absorbed here and remaining waste material is stored as a feces before being removed from the anus. The large intestine, we can go for the introduction. The large intestine extends from the ileocecal junction or ileocecal wall to the anus. It has many segments already examined: cecum, appendix, ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon, rectum and anal canal. The average length of the large intestine is 135 to 150 centimeter. In short, 1.5 what I can say as a meter. Okay, can go for the next slide. Okay, like this we can divide the position of the large intestine. From the right iliac fossa, this is the umbilical region, right lumbar region, then umbilical region, then left lumbar region, left iliac fossa, then you can say as a hypogastric region. Okay, like this is a position of the large intestine. Okay, you can go for the next slide. The parts of the large intestine. This is a ileocecal junction. This is your cecum. This is appendix. This is ascending. It moves upwards. That's why it is say as a ascending colon. It is a transverse. It is move like a or present as a transverse. Then it is descends or it is move towards the downwards. That's why it is say as a descending. And dilated part of the descending colon is say as a sigmoid colon. And this is a rectum. This is a you can say as a rect means it is rectangular. Okay, in short you can say as a it is straight of the straight, okay, rectum, then the anal canal. You can go for the next slide. Then diameter of the large intestine, which is at the cecum here 8 centimeter, and ascending colon it is 6 centimeter, and transverse colon diameter is 5 centimeter. Then as a descending colon is a 5 centimeter, and sigmoid colon it is 4 centimeter. Okay, this is the diameter. And length, cecum is 5 centimeter in length, ascending colon is 10 centimeter in length, transverse colon it is 50 centimeter in length, descending colon it is 10 centimeter in length, and sigmoid colon this is a 50 centimeter in length, anal canal which is 4 centimeter in length, rectum it is a 15 centimeter in a length. This is a diameter in the large intestine. The most dilated part okay, is the cecum and rectum. Okay, in cecum it is a 8 centimeter is the diameter of the what large intestine. We can go for the next slide. Then the peculiarities between the peculiarities or cardinal features of the large intestine, we can say, or specialties of a large intestine, we can say as a, these are the some points. It is differs from the small intestine. It is also say as a the large intestine, it has the some cardinal features, or you can say the specialization of a colon. In this, one is Taenia coli, second is appendices epicoli, second one is saculations. Taenia coli are the nothing but say taenia means these are ribbon like bands present in the large intestine. These are made by the longitudinal muscles of the large intestine. Appendices epicoli. Epicolic means fat. Appendices means it is a pouches of a fat of a peritoneum. You can say it. And saculations. These are the large intestine is contains the sac-like structures. Okay, you can see here in this pouch-like arrangement. You can see this is one pouch. This is also you can see pouch. These portion or sac-like structures are say as a saculations, or it is say as a haustra. Haustra means saculations or haustrations. Okay, these are the some peculiarities of the large intestine. These peculiarities or these features, these are differentiates from the small intestine. One is Taenia coli, second one is the appendices epicoli and saculations. You can see here these ribbon like band like structures of the large intestine. These are made by the longitudinal muscles of the large intestine. Okay, these ribbon like bands of the intestine, these are say as a Taenia coli. And appendices epicoli, I already explained in the epiploic foramina or epiploa, it denotes the omentum. Omentum denotes the fat, or epiploic appendix and the pouch. Appendix means pouch like structures that contains the fatty pouch like structures, that is as a appendices epicoli. Then saculations, or you can say as a haustration, like this sac like structures of the large intestine. These are the say as a saculations or haustration. In this picture also you see as a this is a like sac like a structures or pouches or pouch like a structures of a large intestine. These are say as a saculations, or you can haustrations. Okay, and in this picture also you can see as a this is a ribbon like band of a large longitudinal muscle of the large intestine. Okay, and these are the epiploic appendices. Okay, or fat containing pouches of a peritoneum. Peritoneal fat contains peritoneal pouches or serosa. These are say as a appendices epiploici. And these are sac like structures or saculations or pouch like structures of a large intestine. Is say as a sacral. These are three cardinal features of a large intestine. In when you compare with large intestine and small intestine of a external features of a these large intestine, small intestine, then you can say as a one is a Taenia coli, another one is appendices epicoli and saculations or haustration. But in small intestine, that not has any type of the ribbon like or band like structures in the surface of the small intestine. They don't have the appendices epicoli, and small intestine not has a sacculation but haustration. But large intestine has the saculations, appendices epicoli and Taenia coli. These are the cardinal features of the large intestine or special features of a large intestine. Then it will comes the length and diameter. of the intestine. Okay, when you go for the difference between small intestine and large intestine, the small intestine don't contain any type of the Taenia coli, appendix, epiploices and the circulations. Large intestine contain the Taenia. And what is the, you can see as a longitudinal band like structure. This band like structure or ribbon like structure is say as a Taenia coli, and these are pouches like structures, you can say as a circulations. Okay, and this is a fat like structure. Okay, you can this see in this picture, this is a fat like structures. Appendix epicoli, like this fat like structures, you can say the appendix epicoli. You can go for the next slide. Okay, the Taenia coli. Okay, now we can study about the what is meant by the Taenia coli. The Taenia coli are the external longitudinal muscle bands of large intestine. Taenia meaning is ribbon like structure. Okay, or in Taenia means ribbon in Latin. The Taenia coli are 3 in number in the large intestine, or these Taenia coli are 3 separate longitudinal ribbons of smooth muscles on the outside of large intestine. According to position, the Taenia coli, they are 3 types. One is Taenia libera, Taenia mesocolica and Taenia omentellus. Okay, these are the 3 positions of the what you can say is the position of the Taenia coli. Taenia libera means this is present on the anterior side. Taenia mesocoli means it is present on the posterior medially. Okay, and Taenia omentellus is say as a present in the posterior laterally. Okay, now can see as what is you can see in red color. Okay, red color. Okay, this is say as a Taenia libera, and what you saying it is a blue color. This is say as a Taenia mesocolica, and what you see as a this one what you can green color, this is say as a Taenia omentellus. Okay, red it is present anteriorly, it is a posterior medially, and this is a posterior laterally. Okay, in the cecum. Okay, but this red color, this is present anteriorly, this is say as a Taenia libera, this is mesocolica. Okay, it is present mesentery this side, that's why it is say as a Taenia mesocolica, and this is a Taenia omentellus, it is present posterior laterally. Okay, we can go for the these Taenia coli bands. Taenia libera is placed anteriorly in the cecum, ascending colon, descending colon. It is placed anteriorly in the cecum and ascending colon. Okay, and in the descending colon. Okay, and sigmoid colon, but it is placed inferiorly in the transverse colon. You can see here it is not, you can see. Then Taenia mesocolica, it present posterior medially surface in the cecum, then ascending colon. Okay, then descending colon and sigmoid colon, but is placed posteriorly in the transverse colon. Then Taenia omentellus is situated posterior laterally in the cecum, ascending colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon, but it is situated anterior superiorly surface of the transverse colon. Here it is present anteriorly in the transverse. Why this is look like or this position is happen? Because there is like that flexion of the large intestine, or you can say as a that ascending colon, transverse colon and descending. I can tell in the next slides why, how it is the ascending colon bends at the hepatic flexure or flexures or splenic flexures. Okay, why it is, how it is bended? It is not a look like a how you can see here, there is some folding of the intestine is pattern is there. Okay, like that it will be folded. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Appendix epiculici. Okay, the epiculici appendix or appendix epiculici or epiculic appendices or appendix epiculica or omental appendices. Epiculica means it is another one name for the omentum. Omental meaning is fat. Okay, small pouches of a peritoneum filled with fat. Epiculic appendix epiculic means these are the small pouches of the peritoneum filled with the fat and situated along the colon but are absent in the rectum. They are chiefly appended to the transverse and sigmoid part of the colon. However, their function is unknown. The appendix can become inflamed, a being but painful process known as epiculic appendicitis, which can mimic like a acute appendicitis and other conditions. Can see here, this is a like pouch like structures of a peritoneum that are filled with the fat. They are say as a appendix epiculici. They are mainly present in the transverse colon and sigmoid colon, but they are divided in the rectum. Okay, you can see here it also has the blood supply also. Okay, like that these are the present. Now saculations or hostrations of the large intestine or pouch like structures or pouch forming in the large intestine, that they are say as a saculations. The large intestine having a or form a series of sac like structures or pouch like structure, or they are say as sacculation. The tinea coli run in the length of the large intestine because the tinea coli is shorter than the intestine. The colon becomes sacculated between the tinea, forming the haustra. Haustra means why the sacculations are happen, because the teneas are nothing but a ribbon like structures. Okay, these teneas are nothing but a large intestine is have the two form of musculature, one longitudinal muscle, smooth longitudinal muscle and circular muscle. But when you go for the length of the these longitudinal muscle are lesser than the length of your circular muscle, or you can the intestine, large intestine. Because of less of the length, there is formation of sac or pouch like structures. I will show the picture here. Okay, you can see here, this is a tinea coli, this is a like a sacculation. Okay, if this length is less, then there is what happen, these are forming a pouches. Okay, they are contracted to each other. Okay, because of that there is formation of a sacculation. This is sac like. Okay, I will show one mini video, I think anywhere. Okay, because of small length, there is what happen, there is contraction of a intestine. Because of that, because of the tinea coli has a small length, because of that than the large intestine, because of that what happen, there is contraction of these muscles. Because of contraction, because of the pouching, there is what happen, sac like structure is formed or pouch like structure is formed. Because of this, there is the large intestine has the hostrations or the sacculations. Okay, you can see the haustra or singular is haustrum of the colon are the small pouches caused by sacculation, which give the colon its segmented appearance. Loss of haustra is a sign of chronic ulcerative colitis. Okay, the outer longitudinal smooth matter does not completely surrounds the large intestine. Because of that, it is from the sacculations. It consists of three separate bands of longitudinal muscles. They are known as tinea coli. These longitudinal muscles is shorter than the underlying circular muscle of smooth muscle of layer. When they contract, they form the pouch-like sacs. Okay, that pouch-like sacs are say as a hastrations or sacculation. Because of that, longitudinal muscle is shorter than the underlying circular smooth muscle. Because of that, there is a formation of a sacculations. Okay. Now we can go for the cecum. Cecum is a first starting part of the large intestine. Okay, is a pouch connected to the junction of the small intestine and large intestine. It is also say as it is a large tube-like structure or pouch in the lower abdominal cavity that receives the undigested food material from the small intestine. Okay, it is cecum. It means it is a blind pouch. Okay, it is said in Latin word cecum, meaning is blind pouch at the beginning of the large intestine. It in Latin it is say cecum means blind pouch because it is blinded. So you can see this is a blind pouch. It has the no any openings. See here, this is blinded. Okay. Then it is in Latin word is also say as a cul-de-sac. Okay, it is say as a cul-de-sac. Why? Because it is especially that in which large intestine it is begins. Okay, from here large intestine is because it is a blind sac. That's why it is say as also cul-de-sac. Okay. Then this is a most dilated. It is 8 centimeter in diameter and it is a movable part of a large intestine and it is situated in the right iliac fossa. You can go for the cecum. Cecum is a situated. It is a pouch-like connection connected to the junction of small intestine and large intestine. It is situated in the right iliac fossa above the lateral half of the mid-inguinal ligament or lateral half of the inguinal ligament. It communicates superiorly with the ascending colon, medially at the level of cecocolic junction with the ileum, posteriorly with the appendix. You can see here, this is a ileocecal junction. Okay, and this is a what you can say is a cecocolic junction. Okay. We can go for the next slide. You can see here in this position, this is present in the right iliac fossa. This is the inguinal ligament, superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle. This is the midpoint of the inguinal ligament, lateral half of the inguinal ligament. Just above that, you can see the position of the cecum. This is here you can see here. It's the position of a cecum. Okay, you can see here. Okay, this is a position of the your cecum. Then dimension, this is 8 centimeter in diameter, or it is 6 centimeter in long and 7 centimeter in broad. It is one thing. It is one organ. It is has the more breadth than the length. It is has the more breadth. Okay, as compared to its length. It is one of those organ of body that have greater width than the length. Okay. Then cecum relationship. Okay, anteriorly the anterior abdominal or greater omentum and coils of small intestine, and in the posteriorly it contains the in muscles, two muscles, one is os major muscle and iliacus muscle, arteries, right gonadal artery and external iliac artery. Okay, then nerves, there is femoral nerve, genitofemoral nerve and lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. You can see in this picture. Okay, this is the psoas major muscle. Okay, here iliacus muscle is came. This is the gonadal vessel. Okay, this is the right. Okay, this is the right gonadal vessel, right iliac vessel. Okay, this is a vein, psoas major muscle, and this is a femoral nerve. Okay, this is lateral femoral cutaneous nerve. Okay, psoas major muscle. Okay, iliacus muscle is came here, femoral nerve, genitofemoral nerve, gonadal vessels, right iliac artery, then right iliac vein. These are the posterior, what you can say as a relations of the cecum. Now we can go for the blood supply. In that, it is mainly supplied by the ileocecal artery or ileocolic artery. Okay, ileocolic artery, it is a branch of a superior mesenteric artery. Okay, you can see as here, this is a ileocolic artery branches. It further divides into iliac branch. Okay, you also divide into anterior and posterior cecal branches. Okay, then it is mainly supplied by the ileocolic artery or ileocecal artery. Then venous drainage by the respective arteries, then to superior mesenteric vein. Superior mesenteric vein drain into portal vein. Then nerve supply, thoracic, 11 and lumbar 1 vertebrae, and sympathetic and parasympathetic. Parasympathetic by the vagus nerve. Then lymphatic drainage by the lymph. These are the lymph nodes. You can see here, these are the lymph nodes. The mainly lymph nodes are drained by the ileocecal lymph nodes. These ileocecal lymph nodes are drained by the mesenteric lymph nodes. These mesenteric lymph nodes drained by the colic lymph nodes or celiac lymph nodes. Celiac lymph nodes drained by the what? Cisterna chyli. You can see here, this is a cecum. This is ileocecal lymph nodes, lower ileocolic and upper ileocolic lymph nodes. It is a frenulum means it is a nothing but a small fold of tissue that may be mucus or it may be skin, that secures the motion of a organ in a body, or it is say as a small ridge or fold of skin that's help to anchor a semi-mobile body parts. Frenulum may be found in the tongue, in the intestine, okay, in the penis, under the tongue, inside the lips, okay. It may be internally in the brain and digestive tract. Frenulum, it is nothing but a name only denotes. Frenulum means it is come from Latin word. Frenulum means it is a bridge or bridle, little bridle, just small fold of tissue, okay, that secure the motion of a mobile organ in the body. It may be mucosal or it may be a fold of skin or it may be fold of a mucosa. Okay, lips. Okay, you can see as where the junction is there is have the two lips, upper lips or folds. You can also say as a folds. Okay, lips. Okay. The ileocecal junction, that is a terminal part of the ileum, enters the large intestine at the junction of a cecum with the ascending colon. The opening is provides with the two folds or lips, which forms the so-called ileocecal walls. The function is of these folds or lips its work as a valve. The appendix communicates with the cavity of the cecum through an opening located below and behind the ileocecal opening, and if that opening is guard or it has a valve, and that is say as a valve of Gerlach. I already told during the anatomy of the appendix. Okay, it has the one valve, that valve is called valve of Gerlach. You can see as the in this is a ileocecal junction. Okay, ileocecal junction. Okay, it has the two lips. These are the lips, and this is a frenulum. Right and left frenulum. This is the upper lips, and this is the lower lip of the what you can see as a or ileocecal opening. From here, ileocecal opening, the cecocolic junction was start. From here only, and this is also say as a the junction is start from the ileocolic junction. Okay, it also say as a ileocecal. From here only, cecocolic junction was started. Okay, and this is the opening of appendix and is guarded by the one valve, that is valve of Gerlach. You can say, you can see it in this also. This is the ileocecal junction. This is upper lip, lower lip. These are the frenulums. And from here, this is the cecocolic junction, cecum and colon. Okay, and this is the cecocolic junction. From here, it is also you can say as a labial form. Okay, ileocecal sphincter. The valve has the two lips and two frenulum. The upper lip is a horizontal and lies at the ileocolic junction. Okay. Then lower lip is a longer and concave, and it lies at the ileocecal junction. Upper it is forms the ileocolic junction, and lower one is forms the lower lip is forms the ileocecal junction. Because it is connected to the cecum, and it is only forms the cecocolic junction. These upper lip and lower lip. Okay, and junction. The frenula are formed by the fusion of the lips at the end of the apparatus. These are the left or anterior, and right it is as a posterior frenula. The left end of aperture is rounded and the right end is narrow and pointed. Okay. Now you can go for the control and mechanism. The valve is actively closed by the sympathetic nerve, and which cause tonic contraction of the ileocecal sphincter or sphincter. It is mechanically closed by the distension of the cecum. The function of the cecum is it prevents the reflex from cecum to ileum. It regulates the passage of ileal contents into cecum and prevents them to passing too quickly. Clinical anatomy of a cecum is commonly involved amoebosis causing amoebic dysentery, intestinal tuberculosis or ileocecal tuberculosis. Okay, C of cecum, typhlitis or typhlitis. The another name of the cecum is typhus. Okay, and ululus of a cecum. Surgical anatomy. The cecum and transverse colon and sigmoid colons are movable structures in the. It can be undergo volus because they are the movable structures. Okay. Where the mesocolon is present, the cecum and proximal ascending colon are usually mobile. It is this condition that is termed mobile cecum, and which can result in the volulus of cecum and right colon. Cecofexy is one of the type of the surgery. To avoid the volulus of right colon, the cecofexy is extends up to the ascending colon is performed. Suture the cecal and ascending tinea to the lateral peritoneum with interrupted 3/0 synthetic absorbent material or silk and perform a appendistomy. Cecostomy, it is done if necessary using a Foley's catheter. Okay, now it is a pattern of a flexion or bending of a large intestine. It is not completely bent like a U-shaped. Okay, you can see here how it is bended. Large intestine, ascending colon go and it bends or flexes. That is the hepatic flexure. First it will go inwards, then transverse go comes on the that flexure. You can see how it is flexed. Okay, you can clearly see. Not like this bending is there in the large intestine. Like this bending is there in the large intestine. First it go ascends, then one part is go upwards, transverse colon. Okay, then descending colon is descends behind. Both the flexures are present posteriorly, not the anteriorly. Because of that, these tinea coli are anteriorly. That anterior tinea coli is go to the posterior in the transverse column because of like this flexion. Okay, it is one video is there. There is a coiling or formation of a large intestine or folds of a large intestine is there.